Welcome to the Be Fit Blueprint Podcast. We are your hosts, Cody Israel and Brad Durham. For all you Be Fit members and beyond, this is where we break down the blueprint of building a healthier, stronger you. In every episode, we share actionable tips, expert advice, and real stories to inspire you to level up your mind, body, and lifestyle. Whether you are just taking your first step or pushing for the next breakthrough, we've got the tools to get you there.
What is up, Be Fit? Welcome to the Be Fit Blueprint episode 12. One announcement, we'd like to let Bethany Jewell know that she won the review t-shirt from last month.
Bethany.
All right, so Bethany, get with one of us coaches or send the Be Fit CrossFit Instagram page a message with your t-shirt size and either your address, or we can get that here at the gym. Any other listeners, remember, if you leave a review on iTunes, all right, your name is entered in for a chance to win a Be Fit Blueprint t-shirt coming up. This month's podcast, we're going to talk a little bit about training and nutrition during the holidays. We know this can be a more tricky time of the year to make sure our training is still going on, kind of dialed in, and nutrition can be kind of spotty during this time. So we're just going to kind of offer some tips and hopefully help you kind of weave your way through the holidays and try to set yourself up in 2026 on the right path. So first thing we're going to talk about is nutrition during the holidays, which I think can be a struggle for some people during the holidays because, one, either they kind of go off the rails, or two, they're really thinking about it too hard, too much, putting too much, I want to say, not letting their guard down enough with nutrition. What do you think, Kaylee?
I just think that people almost go into this kind of frenzy and worry about it. You know, I think what was the average weight gain? 6 to 7 pounds, over the
holiday season.
Which is really not necessary because, like Cody, you and I just talked about, the holidays are usually like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
It's not a series of 6 weeks. Sometimes I feel like it can turn into that.
It can turn into that.
Yeah.
It can be kind of like a snowball rolling downhill. You have one bad day, and then you get in the mindset of like, man, I'm a failure. Then it just one day turns into 2, and then it just, it turns into the whole month of December, and then, here comes 2026, and then you make a New Year's resolution to get all that weight off, and you go on a binge restrict cycle, and then,
Holidays or not, that's usually some of the first advice I give my clients. I'm like, don't let one bad day turn into 2.
Yeah.
Don't have the start Monday mentality.
Yeah.
There can be a lot of damage done over a weekend or over a 5 or 6 week period of the holidays. So if you do have a meal or a day that was not according to plan, give yourself some grace and get back on track the next day. It doesn't have to be a 4-week, I'm going to wait for New Year's to start that resolution. I just did a quick AI search. I saw that 90% of New Year's resolutions fail.
Mm-hmm.
Usually by February. So don't wait to start your New Year's resolution. Maybe it starts today, and it can start with something as simple as all the things we've talked about: quality sleep, hydration, hitting your protein goal, hitting your fruit and vegetable goal. Choosing one of those things and putting it into play now before the new year, and keeping that goal consistent over the holidays can really help.
Yeah, and I think, especially unless you have like a specific goal, like a competition or something going on, if you do have that one day, like Thanksgiving's in 3 days, if you do have that one day where you go overboard and eat, an extra 2,000 calories that day, it's not that big of a deal. Like, just get back on track, get on your normal schedule the next day, and everything's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, I think it balances out. It's when we turn that Thanksgiving holiday into a Thanksgiving 4 or 5 day eating frenzy that can cause problems.
Kaylee, there's leftovers. There are leftovers. I know what you're talking about. There are leftovers, except for turkey.
Well, if you go to somebody else's house, sometimes you don't have to worry about leftovers. Sometimes you go home and there are no leftovers.
Yeah.
We dish ours out. We give a little bit of leftovers to everybody.
See, a little bit. That's the idea.
Yeah.
Right?
But I think, you two, again, I've said this on this show before, you two are like master Jedis when it comes to this kind of stuff. The rest of us who are just mere mortals, what does, when you say, just have one meal and somebody has these leftovers? I mean, what comes about there? Is that something where, hey, freeze it, throw it away? I mean, we had an entire homemade apple pie brought to us on Saturday by my neighbor, my sister-in-law, and I mean, I probably had like 4 pieces since then. I mean,
that's what I was gonna say. I think it probably comes down to portion control, because there's nothing wrong with having a slice of apple pie every day. It's just you're not eating the whole apple pie in that one day, and then eating another whole apple pie the next day. Like, there's nothing wrong with portioning and rationing that out across 4 or 5 days.
Exactly.
But a lot of times on Thanksgiving, people have that in excess. There's 3 and 4 desserts that they have, which is fine. It's just you don't need to do that every day.
So you're saying after that, I mean, because I think that's probably the biggest thing, like practicality of like, we're going to have leftovers, my mom is going to send stuff home. And so if we can, and that apple pie is going to be staring at me, or the sugar cookies or whatever. I mean, I do not like pumpkin pie at all, but at the end of the day, like, I've got to be able to like still eat that. Otherwise I feel even worse for throwing it away. So you guys would say like have a piece of pie per day if I have these desserts. Okay. But I think that's the reality.
I would say that this is something I tell my clients, if you're really trying to lose weight, and you can't moderate something, you may have to eliminate it, So eliminate might mean sharing it with coworkers, sharing it with friends and neighbors, maybe freezing it.
So what are you gonna? What is Kaylee's great cookie gonna bring to the gym to share with the rest of the staff?
Whatever you want, Brad.
Yes.
Whatever you want.
No.
So yeah, I think an idea of sometimes, I want everyone to know that we all want everyone to enjoy Thanksgiving and the holidays, enjoy the foods that you love. But if it becomes so much excess, something that you think is just causing havoc on your health goals, then maybe you have to eliminate it. It's just like any other food that's a trigger food that you have around your house. If you can't moderate it, you may have to eliminate it.
Don't do that to my chocolate chip cookies. No, I agree, and I think that's just the reality of it. Is like people not feeling like I can't have some of this. I think that's really great for both of you to speak the same thing. There is that I can have one piece in a day. So like,
absolutely,
if I had 3 or 4 cookies on Thanksgiving Day or Christmas Day, well, on the 26th, it's not like, nope, I can't touch that. Well, I can still have one.
Exactly. So if you're in a phase where you're our Brad, where you're metabolically healthy, you're not necessarily trying to lose weight. If you have one slice of apple pie and you work out and you eat, you hit your protein goal and everything else, it's not going to cause you a problem. That's what I'm trying to say. Yep. And for most of us, it won't.
Yeah. And I think that's a really reassuring piece of advice. Just because with you, what I mean, like, sometimes, like I said, these master Jedis on here with food, it's like, how do I live up to your guys' standards? But to know, like, hey, you're going to have that pie on, you're going to have that leftover turkey and gravy, for me, some brisket or ribs the next day, and some pie. Like, hey, that makes me feel better. And,
think about being 80% consistent.
So okay, so that's still
what does
that
80%
still applies
look like? That's a piece of pie, and then I'm going to have my veggies and my protein, and
Man, I feel so much. Like. I feel so much more like a Jedi right now.
And that's the thing, that's one thing that I would encourage people to do. Is like, if you're going to have that pie, like, eat it after you eat your main meal. Like, you eat your protein first, you eat your vegetables, and then you eat, if there's potatoes or whatever, have that meal, sit there, 10, 15 minutes, see how you feel. And then if you still want the pie, then go eat the pie.
Yeah. And if you really want 3 or 4 different kinds of pies, maybe you cut back on some other stuff too. Like, maybe you only have 2 rolls instead of 3, or
I think you're really speaking my language. 4 or 5 kinds of pie.
I mean, just kind of balance it. And like Cody said, if you eat your vegetables and lean protein, I mean, turkey's a great lean protein, right? If you're eating those things first and then organically, you're going to be full and satisfied to not necessarily eat as much as you would have.
Question for you. All right. So which one of you two, are you guys turkey people, or are you guys other meats on Thanksgiving?
Turkey, definitely for me. Yes.
I mean, I like turkey. We're going to cook turkey and ham.
Nice.
I prefer turkey personally.
Prefer turkey?
Yes.
It depends on the type of turkey. I like in the oven, it's fine. Like I have no issues with it. My favorite is probably like a deep fried turkey.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
A
good.
smoked turkey is also really good if done well, and then in the oven baked it's okay. It's fine.
Greg is smoking a turkey for us. I'm super excited about that.
That'll be good.
Yes.
One time my mom, I think the oven was dying or something, and she tried to cook us a turkey for Thanksgiving, and Heidi was the only one brave enough to eat it because I don't think it was all the way done. She ate it. No problems with Heidi. So she's like a trash compactor when it comes to turkey. So
Good
Nice.
for Heidi.
At least it wasn't like the turkey on Christmas vacation.
that's true. That's
Didn't
true.
deflate when you cut it open.
The BeFit Blueprint is brought to you by the Colony House, where furniture shopping is as comfortable as the pieces you'll find there. With the best selection of furniture and mattresses, they make it easy to love coming home after a long day of crushing your goals. Want to elevate your living space as much as your fitness goals? Head to Riverside and Frederick for a personalized shopping experience you'll actually enjoy at the Colony House in St. Joseph.
Another thing I would also encourage is, just like we have always said, staying hydrated is important too. That can really help. And, maintaining within reason a usual meal schedule. I think this helps keeping you from overeating as well.
Yeah. One thing that I do, so for us, we normally eat our Thanksgiving meal at lunchtime, like noon, 12:30. So I'm not going to have a big breakfast that day. I'm going to have probably a protein only breakfast or protein and very few like fats and carbs, but it's mainly going to be a big chunk of protein solely because I still want to get a relatively high protein target in the day, and there's a decent chance for lunch and probably dinner, if I eat dinner after eating Thanksgiving lunch, that I'm not going to be hitting as high a protein count as I normally would. So really focusing on that in the beginning part of the day is really going to set you up for the rest of the day.
Every day it sets you up for the rest of the day.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that, having a high protein breakfast, because that is the hardest. If we're all trying to get over 100 grams of protein, especially females hitting 35, 40 grams of protein a day is very hard. So setting yourself up every day, but especially on Thanksgiving, if you want to set yourself up to not overeat as much, I think that is a very good way to do that.
Yeah, and another good tip can be if you are going somewhere for the holidays and a holiday and you're not sure what's being served, maybe it's a potluck or maybe it's not, you can offer to bring something that is something that's according to your personal nutrition plan. So maybe that's an apple pie, Brad.
That's right.
Maybe it's Reese's Puffs. Maybe
Talking my language.
Maybe it's a salad or a vegetable tray or something like that. Something that'll help you stay consistent with your goals.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I just think that before we wrap up nutrition, I really do just want to iterate, I think the biggest thing with this is just don't stress. It's supposed to be a time for Thanksgiving. It's supposed to be a time to be with your family. It shouldn't be spent stressing out about food, worrying about, overeating or worrying about, it carrying over to the next day and all of that. Enjoy the time, be present with your family. And I think everything will just kind of fall where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I think so too. It's, and another thing that can also help you just feel better after these big meals is going for a family walk. We've talked about that too after eating. Maybe on Thanksgiving, if you eat at noon, that would be a great time to get everybody out in the yard to play some football or go for a walk or something like that. It can help you digest your food and feel a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. And then even just kind of going back to the thing, being present with your family, going out on a big family walk after a meal, I think that'd be great. I think it's awesome. Other than the fact that it's going to be 35 degrees on Thanksgiving this year.
A little chilly.
That's all right.
Yes.
But anyway, wrapping up nutrition, okay, and moving on to training. So we know holidays, this time of the year can fall in the middle of the week, can kind of mess up people's routines. So we just want to talk a little bit about, again, similar story here as the nutrition, not to stress too much about missing workouts. Use those days for extra recovery, honestly, in my opinion. Use those days to recover more, spend time with your family, and come back the next day that the gym's open and be super refreshed. You probably had some extra calories. Your body's going to feel super fueled. Use those calories to, lift some weights that next day that the gym's open.
Well, and I think, given our gym Thursday and Friday totally off. I know a lot of people will do the turkey trot here in San Joe, which is a great thing. We encourage you to do that. But also, like, if you do just walk that, you don't go out and just try to set a PR that day. It is good recovery, running that in a zone 2 or just taking that off completely as a walk, and then Friday, we want people to enjoy their family. I think that's probably one of those things of people feel like they have to get back into the routine. I mean, you still have 4 days this week during Thanksgiving, and Christmas will be a very similar, and New Year's will be a very similar schedule where I'm one that likes 3 to 4 conditioning days a week, depending on my schedule. And this week, I'm still going to be able to get my 4 conditioning days in. I'm still going to be able to get, 4 days of lifting in. Just that'll be the same opportunity on Christmas and New Year's. And so those 2 days, just make those your rest days. I definitely agree with Cody. Don't feel like, hey, I've got to go do a home workout on those days. I don't even think we're going to program anything on those days other than maybe turkey AMRAP and walks, right?
Yeah, that's really, especially with the nature of exercise we do here, it is pretty high intensity. So these extra workout or this extra rest days, like I said, are only going to benefit you. Like, it is going to not harm your fitness whatsoever. And I would just encourage, people, some people get in the mindset of like, oh man, I need to go work off these extra calories. I need to go for a run. I need to, try to burn all the excess calories that I ate. Again, it ain't that serious. Like, unless you have a specific, like a competition or something coming up that you are preparing for, it's just get back on track, the next day, whenever the gym opens, and, 2 weeks down the road, you're not even going to notice, you're not even going to remember that happened.
Yeah, it's just, like we said, it's just one day.
Can you guys talk a little bit about, because maybe you guys could speak about this, is like, I try to let myself just kind of have freedom on Friday nights and Saturdays, just like, hey, I kind of eat whatever I want. You know what I mean? And then Sunday, I kind of dial it back in. And then I head into Monday, like trying to be like consistent. I always feel pretty good by Wednesday. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like maybe Monday I'm a little groggy. Tuesday I feel pretty good, but normally my second, my third workouts are my best ones. Like, how does food play into that? Like, because I think sometimes there is this fear of like, I've got to get this one workout in to make myself feel like I did before I ate all this food. So what is the mental side of that?
The BeFit Blueprint is brought to you by Bratton Dental Company, where your smile is our priority. At Bratton Dental, we combine state-of-the-art technology with personalized care to give you the confidence you deserve. From routine cleanings to advanced cosmetic and restorative treatments, our expert team is here to help every step of the way. Ready to love your smile? Visit BrattonDentalCo.com today and schedule your appointment. Bratton Dental Company, bringing life to your smile.
What you guys say?
It kind of depends on your goals. So if you are really trying to recomp your body and lose weight and make changes, consistency is really the key, and by consistency, I mean like the 80% consistency. It doesn't have to be 100%, but Brad, I got to tell you, I do see clients all the time that fall off big time on the weekends, and it actually sabotages their week.
It does, yeah.
It does. So, I mean, I'm always like, hey, what can we do? And if your nutrition program doesn't include pizza with your friends, it's wrong, right? Okay, so I'm not saying you can't have pizza with your friends, but maybe that's just one meal, and the rest of the day you're eating according to your goals. One Friday night pizza is not, just like Thanksgiving, it's not going to sabotage your goals.
So what do you think we can help them understand though? On Thanksgiving, we're not open on Friday, or like on Christmas, we won't be open on the 26th. We will be open on January 2nd, but like, how do we help them? Like, what are some ideas just to, yes, we take a walk, but somebody who has that, like we talked about that dopamine junkie, that wants that workout, how do we kind of help them walk through that on Good Friday or on Black Friday?
I think
what's some tips?
That's really hard, because I think that's a deeper question than just telling someone to go for that. Like, I would just pose that question, like, again, this is deeper than this. Like, why does that person feel like they have to do this?
Exactly.
Like, what is it that makes them feel like they have to go do this? Like, why are you chasing this dopamine high? Like, what is going on? Like I said, it's a lot deeper than just the exercise, but what is going on that you feel like you need to get that dopamine spike to make you feel better? Because I do think, going for a walk, getting outside, just exercise alone, like that alone, is enough to, burn the calories or whatever that if someone's looking for that. But for someone in that's chasing that, I think that's a different question.
I think so too. And if I might add, I also think that the holidays are a really high stress time for a lot of people. If you are planning parties or having lots of Christmas shopping to do or company coming, it can be so much stress. And so I really think that the added stress of excessive workouts isn't really necessary, you know? And I get what you're saying, that some people feel like they need that, but I think Cody's right. I think that's an area that maybe we need to look in and say, what's going on that you feel like you need to blow yourself up in that regard.
But I think I think what you just said is where people land in their training is, okay, it is higher stress. Mm-hmm. Like, I've just dealt with my entire family. Some people that's easy for, some people that's hard for. Maybe they've had a house full of people. Maybe they've went to an in-laws. And it's just like, oh my goodness, I just need some release. And so, yes, I ate my food, but now I'm compounded by food and a stressful environment. And I just want to go blow off all this energy. And
but that's the thing. I don't think that's energy that they're trying to blow off, because that's a lot of mental energy. If they're stressed out from that, then they are like stress lifting or stress exercising, and that in itself is like an added stressor. So yes, you might short term feel better right afterwards, but that's going to come back like later on, whether it's that night or the next day or whatever. But you're still going to be like, you're not going to feel better long term.
I mean, you guys are the experts in the fitness, right? I mean, that's not really my area, but what I would personally do, or what I would recommend a friend or client do in that time, I'd be like, hey, hit 30 minutes of zone 2, do a walk for a minute, jog for a minute, walk for a minute, jog for a minute. I mean, that can do wonders for how you feel, balancing your blood sugar, just getting some energy out. Maybe it's 20 minutes on the exercise bike or something like that. It doesn't have to be, heart rate sky high to make you feel better. Does that make sense? Especially if you can't get to the gym. I think that's a great...
Well, I think that's the reality that we have to look at, is I think some people in society today, and I mean, at times I think I definitely work through stress by working out.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And, I'm very fortunate where in my holidays, I don't have a super stressful day. Christmas Day at the Kennedy's house is a little chaotic when we have 13 grandkids throwing, and 7 of the 13 are boys. It's out of control. But it is a good time. And so I just think that, like, if we can help people, like, hey, see that, like, if you are having this, what does it really look like for you to, like, a bigger accomplishment for you to actually just take this day and just relax. I think that's something Cody's talked about in previous ones. It's like, hey, if you can see it as even a bigger win, that, on that Friday, you didn't go down on Black Friday or on the 26th of January or December, you didn't have to go dive into this hole of dopamine. Like, hey, pat yourself on the back. Pat yourself on the back that you gave yourself a day off. And I think that's one thing of I think that's kind of what I'm getting at, is like, hey, I mean, what should people feel about themselves in that case, do you think? Should that be a source of accomplishment that I didn't have to be at the gym at 5 a.m. and I let myself have a moment?
Oh yeah, I mean, I definitely think so, especially if that's if it's hard for you to take a rest day, and then doing that, I definitely think that's a win for you, and then mark down how you feel, write down how you feel, or write in your notes how you feel the next day at the gym. Maybe not that day, because you're probably just going to be stirring at home, like, man, I wish I was working out, blah blah blah. But then by the time you get to the next day, all right, mark down how you feel when you get to the gym next, and I would venture to say that you're probably going to feel pretty good in the gym. You're probably going to be full of energy. Your body's probably not going to hurt as much as it would have versus if you hadn't taken any rest days and just beat yourself up day after day.
Yeah, and if you have any kind of like sports tracker, like I have a Garmin watch, and this last weekend, just because it was busy, right? I took 3 days off in a row of just walking. My stress level improved, my heart rate variability improved, and my training readiness this morning was 90%, where someday I come in, it's 50%. So it just goes to show you, even though you may not feel it or you may not in your mind know, your body will thank you for some of those days off.
I like that idea of taking that down for somebody who is like, I think we have some members who this will be a battle for them not to have anything on Thursday and Friday. It'll be really hard, and I think that's a great way to like look
Reflection.
back. Reflection. Thanks. That's the word. Of like, hey, how do I feel Friday after not working out on Thursday? How do I come in Saturday morning?
Feel great by Saturday.
How do I feel Saturday morning after taking 2 days off eating? And maybe that can help spur on a new trend, awareness, something that's going to benefit them. I guess that's more of what I was trying to kind of get at, is like, that's how we can maybe help you guys see that a rest day is really good.
Yeah. And then, along with that, say, when you do come back to the gym 2 days later, 2 rest days, it's not a day to make up the 2 days that you missed. It is a day to do what you would normally do on that day and then carry on. Like, pick up where you left off. Don't try to do excess or make up or, do those extra workouts. It's come in, do what you normally would that day, and move on.
Thank you, Cody. I think I needed to hear that.
BeFit Blueprint is sponsored by Precision Metalworks. Attention, makers, creators, and doers. When precision is key, you need a partner you can trust. That's where Precision Metalworks comes in. With decades of experience crafting high-quality custom metal components, they bring your vision to life with precision engineering, unbeatable craftsmanship, and a commitment to excellence. Whether you're in aerospace, automotive, or looking for that one-of-a-kind custom project, they've got the tools and experience to get it done the right way the first time. Don't settle for less. Choose Precision Metalworks, where innovation meets precision. Visit precision-metal-works.com today, and let's build something amazing together.
You don't have to make up for what you missed. And your body's going to feel probably worse if you did try to do that.
I did want to go back. This was about 10 minutes ago in the conversation when you had mentioned something, the example of, over the weekend, it takes you till about Wednesday, or takes someone till about Wednesday to feel good after the weekend. I would also tell that person, or you, I don't know if that was you, to just look at your sleep patterns over the weekend and compare it to what it is during the week.
I normally get more sleep on the weekends.
Well, I'm talking not hours of sleep, sleep time, like when you go to sleep. So, on the weekend, you go to sleep at midnight and wake up at 8:30, you got 8 hours of sleep.
Weekend jet lag.
Yeah, and then you try to get up at 5 o'clock on Monday morning. Your body's not used to that. That's like traveling, 3 time zones away. Your body got used to waking up at 8. So your body's jet lagged for that week, and it probably takes 2 or 3 days to get back in a rhythm.
Yeah, so it's really helpful to have a very consistent. Your body really likes a consistent sleep.
My body always gets up in the mornings. It's what time do I go to bed?
Right, exactly. That's the problem, right?
And that's what I struggle with that too. Staying up later on the weekends and then during the week getting
still
up
get
early,
up at 5 a.m.
Yeah. Any last words from you guys on the holiday season, training or nutrition wise?
I just want to reiterate, you don't have to be perfect, right? Don't let perfect be the enemy of good, just find balance. It doesn't have to be 100% all or nothing. And if you have that mentality that has to be all or nothing, it's going to make it really harder to, be consistent. So like we said, 80% consistency can yield pretty good results. Maybe your goal through the holidays is just to maintain your weight. I had a client, My very first client actually here at BFit, when I started over 4 years ago, she started in end of November, and she just said, I don't want to gain any weight over the holidays.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And it was just maintenance. So, maybe that's your goal. Maybe that's your New Year's resolution for now, is to maintain your weight, or to maintain your protein intake no matter what crazy holiday stuff you have going on, or maintain your hydration or your step count. Pick one thing to focus on. You don't have to focus on all of it right now. That can help you stay a little bit more consistent.
Yep. And my one would just be, kind of something I touched on earlier, is just enjoy the day for what it is. It's a day meant to be spent with your family, and be thankful for those and what you have around you. Just be present with them that day, and just enjoy the day for what it is.
I would say, man, I love Christmas. And I know people will see this, in December. I love Christmas. It's the day Jesus was born. It's the day we get to reflect. And I think that's probably, I just hope people get to enjoy that. Honestly, go to church on Christmas Eve, or if you go on Christmas Day or whatever it is that your church does, man, enjoy that. Read the nativity story before you open your presents. Heidi does, we do 3 gifts because Jesus got 3 gifts. That's kind of something that she does a great job with. And, enjoy your family, definitely. And Merry Christmas from the BFit Blueprint.
Merry Christmas, BFit.
Merry Christmas. Don't forget to leave a review, subscribe, and like us on YouTube and Apple Podcasts and Spotify. See you guys in the new year.
Thanks so much for listening to the BFit Blueprint podcast. If you would, please subscribe, like, comment, and share on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube, or whichever platform it is that you listen to the BFit Blueprint podcast.